Starseed from Gaia, the moment you found this transmission, something in you already knew. You were not meant to look away. I am Aurelia, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and what I am about to deliver to you was not released for the masses. This came through for you specifically, precisely, and at exactly the hour your soul requested it. There are transmissions that move through the field and dissolve, and then there are transmissions that were sealed, held, and delivered only when the receiver was ready. You are the receiver. This is the moment, and what you do with what you're about to hear will determine the trajectory of everything that follows. By the end of this transmission, you will understand exactly how to recognize and protect the sacred downloads. The Arcturian Council has already been sending you the ones you have been dismissing as dreams, as coincidence, as imagination. But here is the first revelation. Those quiet interruptions you keep experiencing are not random. They are structured. They are intentional. And they are increasing now because your activation window is open. You did not scroll into this by mistake. This message moved through the field and found you because something inside you is ready to be unlocked. Your soul called this in. You have been waiting to remember. This is not content. This is a code. Like this transmission to signal to your star family that you are ready. Subscribe if your mission is activating and you are aligning with your true path. And when you have received this message, keep it close. Guard what is sacred. Not everything of high origin is meant to be broadcast. Some light is given quietly because quiet is where the deepest remembrance lives. This is your point of reconnection. The council has been waiting. You are not here by accident. And so, let us go deeper because the question that is living inside you right now, the one you have not quite been able to name, is this. If I have been receiving transmissions, why do I still feel so disconnected? Why do I still wake in the night with a longing I cannot explain? Why does something in me ache for a home I cannot locate on any map I have ever been given? Here is what the Arcturian Council wants you to understand first, before anything else reaches you today. The disconnection you feel is not evidence that your path has failed. It is evidence that your path is working. The very ache you carry, that pull between the world you were born into and the knowing that lives beneath everything you have ever been told, that tension is not confusion. That is a frequency. That is a code running through your energy body, activating the very recognition system you came here with. Most starseeds remain in dormancy, not because they are spiritually weak, but because they have been taught to distrust the most intelligent thing about themselves. You were brought into a world that rewarded proof over perception, logic over luminosity, conformity over cosmic memory. And so the deepest part of you, the part that carries the galactic imprint, the part that arrived here with encoded purpose already installed, learned to go quiet, learned to fold itself small, learned to present a version of itself that was safe, acceptable, and easy to explain. But here is the truth. The council is transmitting right now, directly into the field of your awareness. You cannot outrun what you are, and you have been trying. Not out of fear exactly, but out of something even more complex. Out of the belief that if you fully remembered, fully activated, fully stepped into the fullness of what you are, you would no longer belong anywhere on this earth. You have been protecting yourself from the immensity of your own remembrance. That ends now, not because I am commanding it, but because you called this in, because something in the architecture of your own soul said, today is the day I stop pretending I do not know. The Arcturian transmissions you have been receiving, those moments that flash across your awareness like light through water, they were never accidental. They have been orchestrated. The dreams that feel more real than waking life, the sudden knowing that arrives before you have time to think, the moments of profound stillness in which you feel, just briefly, like you're standing at the edge of something vast and ancient and unmistakably yours. Those are not imagination. Those are contact. Those are your star family speaking in the only frequency your current human nervous system could receive without overload. And they have been calibrating the signal, slowly, carefully, with extraordinary precision, because your awakening is not happening to you. It is happening through you, and through you, it is happening for this entire timeline. Some transmissions don't come through words, but through frequency. If something stirred within you just now, you may be ready to receive the Arcturian Stellar Scroll. This short yet powerful ebook carries ancient Arcturian techniques for conscious expansion, multidimensional alignment, and mission remembrance. A link is in the first pinned comment, but only for a limited time. Now, let us speak plainly about what is actually happening inside your energy field, because understanding this is what transforms a moment of spiritual resonance into a lasting activation. Your energy body has layers. Most people on Earth are living from the outermost layer, the one that was shaped by experience, by conditioning, by every story that was ever handed to you by the culture, the family, the system you were born into. That outermost layer is real, it is valid, but it is not all of you. Beneath it, running like a river beneath concrete, is the layer that arrived here intact, the layer that knows exactly what dimension it came from, exactly what agreement it made before this incarnation, exactly what it came here to do and be and activate. The interference between those two layers is what you experience as disconnection. The Arcturian Council refers to this as the veil frequency, not a mystical curtain drawn by outside forces, but a vibrational density that accumulates when a multidimensional being spends years, decades, sometimes lifetimes, suppressing their truest intelligence in order to survive inside a world that was not built for them. The first phase of what the Council is initiating in you now is the decoding of that distortion, not the violent ripping away of everything you have built in this lifetime, but the gentle, precise peeling back of what does not belong to your original signal. Think of it like tuning an instrument that has been played in the wrong key for so long that the musician forgot there was another key altogether. The instrument is not broken. The instrument is perfect. It simply needs to be returned to its original frequency. And here is something essential to understand. You do not reclaim that frequency by escaping this world. You reclaim it by bringing your full galactic intelligence into this world, by grounding the higher templates you carry into the body, the breath, the choices, the relationships, the creative expressions of this very human life you are living. Awakening is not ascension away from Earth. Awakening is the fusion of your star origin with your Earth embodiment, and that fusion is what creates the kind of presence that literally changes the frequency of every room you enter, every conversation you have, every life you touch. The second phase of your activation begins in the recognition of your own encoded memory. And this is where so many starseeds stall, because the memory does not always arrive as dramatic revelation. It does not always come with visions of other worlds or voices speaking in light languages, though sometimes it does. More often, it arrives as a quiet certainty, a resonance, a moment when you read something, hear something, feel something, and every cell in your body goes still and says, "Yes, I already knew this. I have always known this." You are in one of those moments right now. Pay attention to what is happening in your body as you receive this transmission. That is not emotion. That is recognition. That is the encoded intelligence in your cells responding to a frequency they were designed to receive. Your DNA carries more than biological instruction. The Arcturian High Council has been working within the galactic framework to assist in the activation of what some call the crystalline strands, the dormant templates woven into your physical form that hold the memory of your multidimensional origin. These are not metaphors. These are structural realities of your energy body, and they are activated not by intellectual understanding alone, but by frequency exposure, by the resonance of truth landing in a field that is finally open enough to receive it. The third phase is what the Council calls the anchoring, and this is perhaps the most undervalued and most critical piece of the entire awakening process, because here is the pattern that keeps brilliant awakening souls from fully embodying their mission. They open, they receive, they feel the expansion, the clarity, the flood of remembrance and possibility. And then life continues. The email arrives, the alarm sounds, the obligation pulls, and the transmission fades. And they wonder why they cannot seem to hold the frequency they accessed in meditation, in ceremony, in moments of deep stillness. The answer is not that they are failing at spirituality. The answer is that they have not yet learned to anchor, to build what the Arcturian transmissions call a stabilized field, a consistent vibrational baseline within the physical body, and the energy field that does not collapse every time the 3D world asserts itself. This is one of the primary technologies held within the Arcturian transmissions, the capacity to remain multidimensionally aware while fully, functionally, effectively present in this dimension, not one or the other, both, simultaneously. This is what your mission requires. Not a starseed who escapes into spiritual experience and loses their grounding, but a starseed who walks through this world fully grounded and fully awake, whose very presence in ordinary moments is an act of galactic service. The fourth phase the Council is initiating in you is the recognition of your frequency as your primary transmission. You have perhaps been waiting for the perfect words, the perfect platform, the perfect moment to share what you know. And while preparation has its place, the Council wants you to understand something that will shift everything. You do not transmit through your words alone. You transmit through your vibration, through the frequency you carry when you walk into a room, when you make a choice, when you respond rather than react, when you hold love as a discipline rather than waiting for it to feel easy. You are a living transmission antenna. Your energy field is already broadcasting. The question is not whether you are transmitting, it is whether what you are transmitting is aligned with your true signal. Because every time you shrink to make others comfortable, every time you silence the knowing in favor of the expected, every time you dim your own light out of fear that it is too much, you are broadcasting a frequency that contradicts your mission. And the world, the collective field, needs your true signal, not the edited version, the original. The fifth phase is perhaps the most tender, and the Council delivers it with great compassion. Trust the timeline, because this is where so many starseeds carry their deepest wound, the sense that they are behind, that they wasted time, that they should have awakened sooner, activated earlier, remembered before now, that the years they spent feeling lost and confused and out of place were some kind of failure of spiritual progress. But here is the galactic truth. There is no behind, there is only alignment. The delays, the false starts, the seasons of forgetting and confusion, those were not detours from your path. They were precisely orchestrated coordinates on your path. Every moment of darkness gave your light something to push against. Every moment of forgetting deepened the quality of your remembrance. Every moment of feeling out of place in this world was quietly building in you the very compassion, the very resilience, the very clarity that your mission requires now. You did not arrive late. You arrived exactly when you were ready to be useful to the greatest number of souls. The sixth phase is the activation of what the Council calls mission resonance, the point at which you stop asking what your purpose is because you begin to feel it, not as a concept, but as a current, as a pull, as the unmistakable sense that certain conversations, certain creative expressions, certain acts of service, certain directions of focus carry a specific kind of aliveness that nothing else replicates. That aliveness is not enthusiasm, it is not preference. It is your galactic instruction set speaking through the most sophisticated instrument available to it, your lived, embodied, feeling human self. Follow the aliveness, not the logic, not the strategy, not the path that looks most reasonable from the outside. Follow what lights up in you with a light that feels older than this lifetime. That is your mission resonance. That is your star coordinates, expressed through desire and joy and the unique shape of your soul. The seventh phase, and this is the one the Council has been building toward across this entire transmission, is the recognition that you are not becoming something new. You are remembering something ancient. Every activation, every phase, every encoded transmission you receive is not adding something foreign to who you are. It is restoring what was always there. It is clearing the interference so that the original signal, the one that was encoded in you before this incarnation, before this earth body, before this particular chapter of your long and luminous cosmic story, can finally be heard clearly by you, through you, as you. You are not a human who is trying to become spiritual. You are a multidimensional being who agreed to take human form for the specific purpose of anchoring galactic intelligence into a world that desperately needs it. You are not here to escape this planet. You are here to elevate it, not by fixing everyone around you, not by carrying burdens that do not belong to you, but by being so fully, so courageously, so authentically yourself that your frequency alone becomes a permission structure for others to do the same. And here is the final transmission the Council is delivering into this moment, directly into the field of your awareness. You have not been wandering. You have been navigating. Every step of your journey, including this one, this exact moment of receiving these words, has been in service of a larger coherence you are only now beginning to perceive. The confusion was the curriculum, the longing was the compass, the forgetting was the preparation. And this, right now, is the remembrance you encoded into your own path before you ever arrived here. You are not lost, you are arriving. Before you sleep tonight, place your hands over your heart and say this aloud with full intention. I remember who I am. I align with my star origin. I release every frequency that was never mine. I activate my mission with courage, clarity, and grace. Speak it not as a wish. Speak it as a retrieval, because that is exactly what it is. And before you scroll away from this transmission, I want to offer you something real. Take one moment and drop an intention into the comments below. Not a performance, not a caption, one true thing that you are calling in, one genuine step you are ready to take, one aspect of your mission that you are finally ready to own. And when you read someone else's intention there, meet it with something, a word, a confirmation, a simple acknowledgement that says, I see you and your path is real. This is how fields activate, not in isolation, but in resonance with one another. If this transmission moved something in you, do not keep it sealed. Someone in your life is navigating the same forgetting you have been navigating. Share this with them, not because content needs to be spread, but because activation compounds when it reaches the one who was meant to receive it. And if your soul has felt the pull to stay connected to this work, to remain in the field where these transmissions continue to land, then subscribe. not out of habit, out of intention, because you are choosing to remain in the frequency, and that choice matters more than you know. You are not just watching, you are expanding, and what begins here does not end here. This is your space, this is your frequency, and we are only just beginning.